How have the Big Bang Theory actors changed since we first saw them? Let's compare them then and now. Brian Smith, who played Zoc Johnson, Penny's ex-boyfriend. Interestingly, he discovered astronomy off-screen. During breaks, he'd often dive into discussions about star systems with Kunal Nayyar Raj. Fun fact, Brian set a record on set by needing 17 takes to nail a scene because he just couldn't stop laughing. And who could forget Zoc's classic line, "Oh, that's cool." That one went viral and became a meme. Off camera, Brian even organized trivia nights based on the show's science themes, which really brought the cast and crew closer together. Now, at 47, he's focusing on theater, indie films, and advocating for mental health.
That's your big experiment? I'll have a line on the screen?
Yeah, but...
By the way, thanks Alessandra Mello for subscribing. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to and you might be featured in the next video. Now, let's talk about Ardaman, who played Priya Kuthrapali, Raj's ambitious sister and Leonard's love interest. She definitely shook things up in seasons 4 and 5. Off-screen, artist curiosity about science had her quizzing the show's consultants about all the technical stuff. She and Johnny Galecki Leonard bonded over their love for indie films, and she often brought homemade Indian dishes to set. Kaley Cuoco Penny especially loved her curry. Artie and Kunal Nayyar had a sibling-like friendship that went beyond the camera, with Kunal affectionately calling her sister. Now at 46, Artie is still acting in roles that promote South Asian representation and is a strong advocate for diversity in Hollywood.
What are your plans while you're here?
I don't know, I just have the one day.
Next is Kate Micucci, who played Lucy, Raj's sweet but socially awkward girlfriend. Kate is a professional ukulele player and often brought a fun vibe to the set. She likes comics and often makes them inspired by her co-stars. One of her favorites was a drawing of Raj holding a heart, which she gifted to Kunal Nayyar when her time on the show wrapped up. Fans really connected with Lucy's portrayal of social anxiety, and many wrote to Kate to share their appreciation, which spurred them to solve their problems. Now at 44, Kate is thriving as a musician and voice actress, and she's part of the comedy duo Garfinkel and Oates. Let's dive into Johnny Galecki, who played Leonard, the emotional heart of the show. He is a professional cello musician, so during the shoot, he really played it. Off-screen, Johnny and Kaley Cuoco dated for 2 years, which definitely cranked up their on-screen chemistry. He enjoyed collecting souvenirs from the set. He bought part of Leonard and Sheldon's apartment set, including their iconic couch, to preserve the memory of the show. Now at 49, Johnny stays busy with acting and producing while also making time for environmental causes.
You can't train my girlfriend like a lab rat.
Next up is Joshua Molina, who played President Siebert, the head honcho at Caltech. He's known for his dramatic roles, but he was a bit nervous about jumping into the comedy world of The Big Bang Theory. Luckily, he adapted pretty quickly. Joshua really got into the science side of things, chatting with consultants to nail down his character. A fan even gifted him a funny caricature of Siebert scolding Sheldon, which he proudly displays at home. Now at 58, Joshua is mixing acting with political advocacy and podcasting.
Read, rest, travel. I hear Afghanistan is nice this time of year.
Kevin Sussman portrayed Stuart Bloom, the struggling comic bookstore owner. Before his acting career, Kevin actually worked in a comic bookstore. This helped him create a realistic portrayal of Stuart. Kevin admitted that for a long time, he felt he was on probation as his character appeared irregularly. He said he was excited about each new episode as if it were his first job. Kevin often said that after his first episodes, people in comic stores began to recognize him and jokingly asked if he could give them a discount. Kevin once admitted that certain aspects of the technical language used in the show had him searching Google for answers. He joked that at least through the show, I learned what quantum mechanics was. At 53, Kevin Sussman continues acting in television and films, often exploring offbeat and comedic roles. He is also developing his own projects as a writer and producer, showcasing his creativity behind the camera.
Wow, it's really good.
Yes, that's you.
That's so sweet, but what if I didn't like it?
It'd still be you, but I'd feel like an idiot.
Kaley Cuoco portrayed Penny, the aspiring actress and charismatic neighbor. Kaley was the only one of the main cast whose character didn't have a last name until the later seasons. Producers said that Penny was so recognizable that she simply didn't need a last name. Kaley and Johnny Galecki Leonard secretly dated for almost 2 years to avoid affecting the show's plot. They only revealed it after they broke up, remaining close friends. Kaley joked that her biggest fear was accidentally forgetting or mixing up a scientific term in a line, even though her character, Penny, almost never said any. At 38, Kaley Cuoco continues to thrive in her acting career, starring in acclaimed projects like The Flight Attendant. She is also a passionate advocate for animal rescue and shares glimpses of her equestrian lifestyle on social media.
Well, oh, welcome to the building.
Oh, thank you. Maybe we can have coffee sometime.
Oh, great.
Great.
John Ross Bowie portrayed Barry Crick, the lisping, mischief-loving physicist. John suggested making Barry Crick's lisp a key trait of his character. He took inspiration from stereotypes from comedies while adding his own vision, making Crick one of his most memorable characters. Before becoming Barry Crick, John was offered a cameo on the show, but he turned it down due to scheduling conflicts. Later, when Crick came along, he immediately accepted. Barry's lisp was so convincing that many fans thought John had a real one. He later explained that it was an acting technique developed specifically for the show. Despite their on-screen rivalry, John and Jim Parsons Sheldon were close friends off-screen. At 53, John Ross Bowie continues to act in television, with notable roles in series like Speechless. He is also an author and a podcaster, exploring themes of comedy.
It's rhetorical.
Why are you such a stupid head?
Will Wheaton, who played a fun, exaggerated version of himself. Will was a big fan of The Big Bang Theory even before he got the role. He admitted that he was thrilled when he was asked to play himself. In the board game scenes, Will used his own collections. He even suggested that the writers include lesser-known games to diversify the episodes. Will mentioned that his favorite episode is the one where his character and Sheldon compete in a Magic, the Gathering card game tournament. He is a fan of the game himself. At 52, he's a big advocate for mental health and stays super active in both the gaming and acting communities.
What is wrong with him?
Everyone has a different theory.
Then we have Laura Spencer as Emily Sweeney, Raj's smart and darkly funny girlfriend. Laura got into the series thanks to a video audition she recorded at home. She was surprised when she was immediately confirmed for the role of Emily Sweeney. Their scenes with Raj seemed so genuine because Laura and Kunal Nayyar have become good friends. For the scene where Emily tells a creepy story, Laura spent an entire night rewatching her favorite horror movies to get into the mood. Now at 38, she's balancing her acting career while pursuing her passion for photography.
And if it makes you feel any better, you're not the weirdest guy I've met off the internet.
Melissa Raj, with her unique high-pitched voice, brought Bernadette to life. Her character's high-pitched voice was no accident. Melissa admitted that it was an imitation of her mother's voice. The actress added that in real life her voice is much lower. Bernadette was originally intended to be a cameo character, but the popularity of her dynamic with Howard Simon Halbert led to her becoming a regular cast member. Melissa was close with the cast, especially Mayim Bialik Amy. Melissa's husband, Winston Raj, helped her parse scripts and often gave her advice on comedy scenes. After the series ended, Melissa bought back Bernadette's glasses and robe to keep as a memento of the character. At 44, Melissa continues to act in television and film, as well as producing projects behind the scenes. She is a proud advocate for women in STEM fields and supports numerous charitable causes.
I'm I'm sorry.
Damn right you're sorry.
Now let's chat about Kunal Nayyar, who won everyone's hearts as Raj, the awkward astrophysicist. Off-screen, Kunal and Simon Helberg Howard had a close friendship that mirrored their on-screen bromance. Even though he played a scientist, Kunal often Googled scientific terms to sound legit. His comedic timing was so on point that the producers encouraged him to improvise a lot. Now at 43, Kunal is taking on more dramatic roles and is even writing a memoir about his journey in Hollywood.
Oh, what's your hurry, cowboy? Savor the moment.
Then there's Laurie Metcalf, who portrayed Mary Cooper, Sheldon's deeply religious mom. To get ready for the role, Laurie interviewed women from the South to perfect her accent and mannerisms. The chemistry she had with Jim Parsons' Sheldon was so real that she once said Jim reminded her of her own son. Now at 69, Laurie is still rocking her celebrated acting career on stage and screen.
All that science stuff, that comes from Jesus.
Jim Parsons portrayed Sheldon Cooper, the eccentric and brilliant physicist. Jim said he drew inspiration for Sheldon from documentaries about geniuses whose behavior sometimes deviated from the norm. Jim was known for his ability to instantly memorize complex dialogue, especially containing scientific terms. He joked that it helped him feel smarter than he really was. The word bazinga became Sheldon's trademark thanks to Jim. Although it was originally scripted, Jim offered a unique intonation that made the phrase iconic. At 51, Jim Parsons continues to thrive in his acting career both on screen and on stage. He is also a producer, working on projects like Young Sheldon and a vocal advocate for LGBTQ+ rights.
What's your point? There's no point. I just think it's a good idea for a t-shirt.
Brian Posehn played Bert Kibler, the quirky geologist. He was a fan of the show before joining the cast. In real life, he collects minerals and even brought his personal collection to set for some extra authenticity. One of his most memorable moments was when he couldn't stop laughing during a scene with Jim Parsons, which turned into a long shoot lasting several hours. Now at 58, Brian is still doing stand-up, acting, and hosting podcasts about comedy and music.
It's okay. I want you to have it. Bye.
Mayim Bialik, who brought her real-life neuroscience expertise to her role as Amy, Sheldon's brilliant girlfriend, learned how to play the harp for the show to fit into the role. She was all about making Amy and Sheldon's relationship feel real, insisting on a gradual development. Now at 48, she's balancing acting, hosting a podcast, and supporting educational initiatives.
I'm here because my mother and I have agreed that I will date at least once a year.
And let's not forget Christine Baranski, who played Dr. Beverly Hofstadter, Leonard's mom. Christine is known for her precision. She rarely needed more than one take. She often consulted psychologists to really enhance her performance. Now at 72, Christine continues to captivate audiences with her roles in The Good Fight and on Broadway.
It implies that the elevator doesn't work.
Again, I can read the sign.
Simon Halbert totally nailed his role as Howard, the quirky aerospace engineer. Simon really is a masterful piano player. In the episode where Howard plays a song for Bernadette, it was Simon's actual playing. He also helped with the musical elements in other scenes of the show. Simon cited the episode where Howard goes into space as his favorite moment. To film these scenes, he wore a special suit that weighed about 13 pounds. Simon's wife often visited the set. He said that her presence helped him stay calm. At 43, Simon continues to shine in both comedy and drama with standout performances in independent films and on stage. He's also an advocate for arts education and frequently participates in charity events.
And at the very least, when she found out Leonard was upset about it, she should have backed off.